Hi everyone, comic reviewer here. This time reviewing on DC X Sonic the Hedgehog, issue number 2. Now, as you know, we are now on issue number 2 of the DC Sonic the Hedgehog series that is meant to be a team up between the Justice League and the cast of Sonic the Hedgehog. I've done issue 1, so I'm pretty much now on to issue 2. And the cover mainly has Darkseid holding a Chaos Emerald, while Flash and Sonic try to stop him. And the story starts off how, on Green Hill Zone, we kind of see how Darkseid says, it all starts with a gem containing the ultimate power. And we kind of see how Sonic says, this is the guy Flash, Darkseid? That's him, Sonic. Whatever you faced in the past, consider him worse. AKA Nessalus or any other Sonic villains besides Dr. Eggman. And we see him saying, cool, I like a challenge. So of course, we kind of see how Flash and Sonic try to take on Darkseid. But of course, Darkseid releasing his Omega Beams. But we kind of see how Flash and Sonic manage to avoid them with the inch of their lives. So of course, we kind of see how Flash reports to the Justice League that Darkseid has gotten away. And we kind of see how the Justice League respond to where their teams and all that are, and with other characters from Sonic. And we see how Darkseid returns back to the Regina Rock, and Darkseid mainly points out that finding the Chaos Emeralds is going to be more trickier now. So we kind of see how Darkseid has decided to inform to let out his most dangerous warriors. So we kind of see how Cyborg and Tails use the tracking device, and we see how characters like Superman, Green Lantern, and Batman each team up with their sort of companion to take on the forces of Darkseid. And we kind of see how they group to certain areas. And of course, taking down each member of Darkseid's forces, like Mantis, Calabac again, even Steppenwolf, who says, the mortal man and the tiny animal wish to challenge Steppenwolf. Very well, I will reward your head along with the gem to my lord Darkseid. But we see how Shadow makes quick work of Steppenwolf, and of course uses Chaos Control. And even Batman says, impressive, you move faster than I could perceive. There's no way you could have. I used Chaos Control to stop time. That might be the key to disarming Darkseid. Of course, I am the ultimate. And of course, a rumble happens, and we see how Darkseid is using the Regina Rock to kind of warp the sort of Sonic the Hedgehog universe to his liking. But right away, we see how Dr. Eggman shows up and offers his services to the Sonic and the Justice League. And of course, as Flash asks, who's this meant to be? It's meant to be, obviously, Dr. Eggman, mad genius, meant to conquer the world. And even Flash points out that he's almost like Lex Luthor. And I think it's a shame that we don't have this scene with Superman and Sonic, because, again, Sonic is a lot like Superman. They both want the best for their villains. They both want to see the good in people. They both try to be that symbol of hope. But we see how Eggman performs a truce, and even Eggman points out that he's not going to have Darkseid just destroy everything that he wants, so they decide to team up, and Eggman uses his ship to crash right into the Regina Rock's eye. So of course, making quick work of the Parademons, trying to stop Darkseid, and use everything that they can to prevent him from doing any more damage. So of course, we kind of see how Shadow is tasked with using Chaos Control, and says, Chaos Control! Father Box discovered much about your world, about Chaos Control, that promise of power and control drew me here. Impossible. To most mortals, absolutely, but not to you, for you are the ultimate life form, and not to me, for Darkseid is. And yeah, everyone kind of being thrown around like stuffed toys, and we see how Sonic and Flash make quick work of Darkseid again, and of course, we see how Darkseid plans to destroy Sonic with his Omega Beams, but we see how Superman tries to stop him. But of course, due to something that happens with the Regina Rock, and of course, due to it kind of warping and destroying reality, we see how Cyborg and the others try to send Sonic, Tails, Amy, and all that back to their world into the DC universe. And this is where they meet Mr. Terrific. And when they point out about opening the boom tube to get back to their universe, Mr. Terrific points out that, yeah, he can't as there's no dimensional coordinates and that everything is now gone. So mean that Sonic, Knuckles, Silver, Amy and all that are stuck in the DC universe. And this is the story. So I think issue 2 is kind of okay, but I think it's a shame that they didn't really use Lex Luthor for this story, because it would have been interesting to see Lex Luthor getting tired of constantly being defeated by Superman and deciding to go to the Sonic universe to find something easier to conquer. It feels like this would have been an interesting idea, given the fact, much like Dr. Eggman, we see how Lex Luthor would use every trick, tactic, and even strategy to defeat Superman, and much like Eggman, does usually end up getting defeated. I think there was an intention to do something more with the story and not using Darkseid in that, but I feel issue 2 has that element of wasted potential, trying to work with a story that is coming down to questionable choices. So it definitely deserves a thumbs in the middle. Kind of alright, but kind of okay. So, comic book reviewer here, signing out.